Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Begakar Ahmed and welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be about Imam Hussain alayhi salam, who he was, what was his importance and role in the religion of Islam, what was his sacrifice for the preservation of truth for all of human history, and what he meant to the Prophet Muhammad and the companions of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, at the time. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this. We're going to go ahead and jump into hadith first. We're going to jump into Sunni hadith in specific. And the reason I always jump into Sunni hadith is because Shias already understand the value and the weight of the Ahlul Bayt. They already understand the sacrifice of Al-Hussein pretty well. A lot of them might not. And this is going to go ahead and get the point across just as well. So for educational purposes, I like to use Sunni hadith to go ahead and show Sunni people why these things correspond to, Islam. Because if I give them a Shia source, they're not going to go ahead and listen to it. So it's better to give the Sunni source, the credible hadith from TYRANY or from, Bukhari or Sahih Muslim, to go ahead and help them understand where the Shia come from, or where what the Prophet said, or where the Prophet came from. Because I really do feel a lot of people are just ignorant. They just follow mainstream agenda Islam. They don't jump into the sources. They don't understand the history. They don't really understand who their Prophet was, who his family was, who the companions were. They're just told, like, love Abu Bakr, love Umar, the family of the Prophet's amazing, and the Prophet is the greatest example, khalas, and it's not that easy. It's not that simple. There's a lot of complexity there. There's a lot that happened. These are human beings that went through tragedies, that went through wars, that went through issues with one another. And it's very, very important to go ahead and understand the character of each individual and who these people are. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this. Starting at Al-Tirmidhi 3870, it's narrated that the Messenger of Allah said to Ali, Fatima, Al-Hasan, and Al-Hussein, I am at war with whoever makes war with you, and at peace with whoever makes peace with you. This is very important to understand. Keep this in your mind and remember this. The Prophet is literally saying, whoever goes to war with you is at war with me. Whoever curses you curses me. Whoever fights you fights me. Whoever hates you hates me. And this is very, very, very important to remember. And whoever makes peace with you makes peace with me. Whoever feeds you feeds me. Whoever gives money to you gives money to me. Whoever loves you loves me, and so forth. They are a mirrored reflection of Rasulullah. They are a mirrored reflection of how you feel about Rasulullah, how you treat the family of the Prophet, his Ahlul Bayt, his close ones, these four in specific, is a reflection on how you feel about him, right? And this is very, very important, because within the Sahaba, you see a lot of dispersion happening with these four people, and Rasulullah would not be happy with a lot of things that happened, especially after his death. So no, we should not go ahead and curse out companions of the Prophet. We should not go ahead and curse out Sahaba in any way, shape, or form. But when we see specific instances where Sahabi, some of the more extreme examples like Muawiyah going against Imam Ali alayhi salam as caliph, and trying to go ahead and take things for himself, and talking bad about Imam Ali alayhi salam, and talking bad about the family of the Prophet alayhi salam, and in the public eye, this is something that goes against the Prophet. This is something that goes against his Ahlul Bayt, his family, and it's so, so sad to see. And Yazid, for instance, these are extremer examples of people who are in the realm of the Sahaba who went against the Ahlul Bayt in specific. I won't go into more details or other situations. We can do that in other videos, but just to leave it at that, remember this quote. It is so, so important. Whoever goes to war with them is at war with the Prophet. Whoever makes peace with them is at peace with the Prophet. Al-Tirmidhi 3768, it is narrated that the Messenger of Allah said, Al-Hasan and Al-Hussein are the chiefs of the youth of paradise. The chiefs of the youth of paradise, meaning that they are the masters. They are the masters of the youth. They are above all of the youth in paradise. They are the ones that are the chiefs, the leaders, the runners, the rulers. So you want to talk about guaranteed heaven? These two individuals aren't just guaranteed heaven by the Messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These two are guaranteed the top level of heaven of the youth. And this is something to really, really remember, is their level of importance, their level of status, because I really feel like it gets downplayed so much. Well, you always hear in Sunni Islam, especially Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, like their level is raised to the highest levels, right? Abu Bakr is the greatest man. He's at the greatest level of heaven. But this right here is the truth. This right here is what the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, is trying to tell you, is Al-Hasan, Al-Hussein are the chiefs of the youth of Master of Paradise. So this right here just shows you how important these two individuals are. His two grandchildren, the sons of Fatima Zahra and Imam Ali alayhi salam, the sons of these two individuals that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has divinely chosen, right? And I say divinely chosen because the Mahdi comes from their lineage. How can you believe that the Mahdi comes from Ahlul Bayt, the savior of all of mankind, the final caliph of the whole entire history of the world is going to come. He's going to defeat the Dajjal, the deceiver, the Antichrist, come with Nabi Isa alayhi salam. And he is divinely chosen by Allah to come from Ahlul Bayt, but we don't believe that the Ahlul Bayt was divinely chosen. That Imam Ali and Sayyidina Fatima were supposed to go ahead and get married and have these children. This was a divine choice by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to go ahead and birth your savior, to go ahead and preserve the religion of Islam, to go ahead and bring you the final, chapter of the world, of world history, to be completely honest with you, to go ahead and start the end times, okay? So that's also something that Shia and Sunni go ahead and see differently, is we believe that the Ahlul Bayt are divinely chosen. And it doesn't matter if you're Sunni or Shia. On the Ghadir Khum, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, announced and told us, I've left you guys two weighty things, two very heavy things. One is the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and one is my Ahlul Bayt. Keep them close. What does this mean? He left you the book of God, and he left you the Ahlul Bayt. This is the preservation of the book of God. This is the preservation of the Sunnah, or the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. If I want to know what the Prophet Muhammad did, I'm going to go see what his daughter does, or what Imam Ali alayhi salam does, or what his grandchildren do, right? That's how I'm gonna figure out the sunnah of the Prophet. I'm gonna trust them to tell me before Abu Bakr or before Umar, companions and friends who grew up in pagan societies and come from different families and whatnot. I rather trust the people who lived in his household, the people he raised, the people who came from him, the people who honor him in the Quran in the highest way, shape, or form, who don't have, ideas of power and money or things of this nature in their head at all. I know that. And I know that because the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings upon him, is telling us this, right? So it's very, very important to understand their status and their level as Ahlul Bayt, as a daughter of the Prophet, as the cousin of the Prophet, as the grandchildren of the Prophet, what they meant to the Prophet, and so forth. I want to go ahead and show you this one right here. This is from Sahih al-Bukhari, 3751. It's narrated by Ibn Umar. Abu Bakr used to say, look after Muhammad in looking after his family. So, very, very important now. Now we're bringing in Abu Bakr, since we are in the Sunni realm of things, and Sunnis love Abu Bakr, and Sunnis also love, sayings from Abu Bakr. And you might say, Al-Tirmidhi, it's not as credible as Bukhari, for instance. Right here for you. Just as the Prophet Muhammad said before, look after my family. Whoever goes to war with my family is at war with me. Imam Hussain, Imam Hassan are the chiefs of the Masters of Paradise. Abu Bakr is saying, look after the Prophet Muhammad by looking after his family. Meaning, if you look after his family, you're looking after Prophet Muhammad. If you feed his family, you're feeding Prophet Muhammad. If you are at peace with them, you're at peace with Prophet Muhammad. If you love his family, you love the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. This is exactly what we read in the first verse right here. And at peace with whoever makes peace with you, right? So Abu Bakr is saying the exact same thing. If you want to look after the Prophet, look after his family. This is the best way you can possibly do this. Look after his Ahlul Bayt, be good to them, and love them, and you will love the Prophet in return. You will understand his sunnah in return. And this is just how it works, ladies and gentlemen. So I just wanted to go ahead and get this through some of your heads, and so you understand the importance of who Ahlul Bayt is, who Imam Hussain, who Imam Hassan alayhi salam they are the grandchildren of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. The Prophet Muhammad, you can go ahead and look this up yourself. It is awesome to go ahead and see that we have a tool like the internet to go into any hadith and type in any keyword like Hassan or Hussein and see every quote that it says about Imam Hussain, right? So we're going to go ahead and now just go ahead and react to the story of Imam Hussain alayhi salam and the battle of Karbala and what happened in specific here. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and start this video up.
After the death of Muawiyah, the son of Abu Sufyan, his son Yazid came into power as a caliph. This was in direct contradiction with the conditions of the truce that Muawiyah had signed with Imam Hassan 2 decades earlier, where the caliphate was meant to return to Imam Hussain. As Yazid came into power and the article of the truce was broken, he began demanding allegiance from Imam Hussain in order to get support and legitimacy for his rule. Imam Hussain refused to give his allegiance to Yazid. However, the situation in Medina became dangerous for the Imam, and he had no choice but to leave the city, along with his family, for Mecca. When he arrived in Mecca, the Imam began to receive numerous letters from residents of Kufa, many of whom were demanding that Imam Hussain should come to their city so that they could assist him in overthrowing Yazid.
So, just for a little bit of backstory here, right? There was a leader, and his name was Muawiyah, right? And Muawiyah was the leader after Imam Ali alayhi salam, right? And Muawiyah wanted to go after the people who killed the caliph before Imam Ali, whose name is Uthman. And Ali opposed this. He said that, hey Muawiyah, we're not going to go after these people. Aisha, the wife of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, also wanted to go against the people who killed Uthman. But Imam Ali alayhi salam went ahead and told them, no, we are not going after anyone. This is not happening because we don't want to cause a fitna. We don't want to cause a divide in Islam. Islam is very, very early. This empire is very, very early on in the stages. We don't want to divide the religion by fighting a bunch of companions and doing all of this stuff. So we're not going to go ahead and do that. And Muawiyah really, really much opposed this. Muawiyah really wanted revenge. So eventually, when Imam Ali died, Muawiyah went and took this powership by making a agreement with Imam Ali alayhi salam's son, Imam Hassan, the older brother of Imam Hussain, who we're talking about, right? Imam Hassan makes a treaty with Muawiyah, stating that everything needs to be ran in this way, shape, or form. I do not give my allegiance to you, but here is a contract stating everything that's going to happen in the Muslim Ummah. Go ahead and run it, but it's going to be ran in this way, shape, or form. Muawiyah was not allowed to elect a leader after this. The leadership process was going to be passed back to Imam Hassan and the family, or go ahead and go to a vote, right? When Muawiyah went ahead and was passing away, he went ahead and gave his leadership role to his son. So for the first time in Islamic history, he passed down his leadership to his son. So like many Sunni Muslims say, we don't believe that the Prophet Muhammad was supposed to pass down his caliphship to Imam Ali because we don't believe in family bloodline passing down. But when we got to the fourth caliph and Imam Ali alayhi salam passed away, how come Muawiyah was allowed to pass it down to his son and Yazid, and Yazid was allowed to pass it down to his son all the way until today in modern day Saudi Arabia, where we have the kings that are passing it down to their son from the line of Yazid, from the line of Muawiyah. So it's interesting that the murderers and killers of the Prophet Muhammad's family, the people who oppose the Prophet Muhammad's family, right, who goes to war with my family goes to war with me. So those who went to war with the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, like the family of Muawiyah, the family of Yazid, all the way until today, who control Mecca, who control Medina, who control these holy lands, these individuals are the ones who are allowed to pass it down through their bloodline. But not Rasulullah, not the family of the Prophet, not the Ahlul Bayt that the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, says is his most prized possession. No, not the two weighty things, the Quran and his Ahlul Bayt. It shouldn't be passed down through there, through the family of Yazid, the slaughterer and the killer of the Ahlul Bayt, the slaughterer and the killer of the family of the Prophet Muhammad, a drunken, a gambler, someone who destroyed the city of Mecca and destroyed the Kaaba and broke the black stone, someone who raided the city of Medina. This is crazy to go ahead and think that this is the history. So just giving you a little backstory, Muawiyah had an agreement with Imam Hussein's older brother, Imam Hassan, to go ahead and keep the power between them and abide by specific rulings. Muawiyah broke that peace treaty completely, threw the contract away, gave the power to Yazid. Imam Hussain alayhi salam, after his brother's death, Imam Hassan refused to give allegiance to Yazid, as Yazid was not the rightful caliph. He was not the rightful person to go ahead and pursue power, and there ended up being a split in power, or a split in things. Yazid ended up paying off a lot of his empire. He had the support and the likes of his father's whole entire kingdom beforehand, and Imam Hussain alayhi salam had his large group of followers in multiple different cities, and as he was traveling to one of the cities, he ended up getting trapped by the army of Yazid. So just a little bit of backstory there.
A great deal of deliberation took place between the Imam and his companions. Although most senior figures in Mecca told the Imam to abandon his journey to Kufa, the Imam, with his knowledge and wisdom, believed it was necessary to head towards the city of the people who had written to him and requested for his presence. Earlier, the Imam had also sent his ambassador and cousin, Muslim bin Aqil, to evaluate the situation on the ground in Kufa, and he was reassured that the grounds were ready for his arrival. During the Imam's journey to Kufa, he stopped at a junction called Zubala, where he was informed about the events that were unfolding in the city of Kufa. Yazid had replaced the previous governor with a more notorious person known as Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad, who immediately cast terror and fear amongst the loyal supporters of Imam Hussain. He had also quickly arrested Muslim bin Aqil and executed him. Many of the Kufan supporters of Imam Hussain were sent into shock and terror, eventually retracting back on their requests to the Imam. Some completely abandoned and betrayed their previous show of support. Those few who refused to back down were incarcerated by Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad. The Imam nevertheless decided to move towards Kufa.
So the Imam Hussain alayhi salam was getting a lot of letters from a city called Kufa, and in that city called Kufa, they wanted the Imam Hussain alayhi salam to be the caliph. They wanted him to be the leader, and they were bidding support in Imam Hussain to go ahead and be the caliph of the time. Now, Yazid ended up figuring this out, so he appointed a general to go ahead and go to that city and basically kill everyone or arrest everyone that was against Yazid and with Imam Hussain alayhi salam, and go ahead and pay them off, and and use force essentially to discourage them from supporting Imam Hussain anymore. So a lot of the people of that time, they're just like, screw this, it's not worth dying, it's not worth going to jail, I really don't care who leads me. Imam Hussain or Yazid, I don't really care, I'm just not trying to die, right? So he lost a lot of that support, and he continued to go to the city of Kufa anyways. Imam Hussain alayhi salam still continued to travel there and take his journey out there,
hoping that if he could enter the city, his supporters may be motivated to rejoin him. However, he was blocked in doing so by a battalion sent by Ibn Ziyad, led by Hur ibn Yazid. Hur prevented the Imam from entering the city and did not allow him to return back to Medina either. His battalion forced the Imam, his small group of followers, and his family members to move towards a deserted and barren land called Karbala, which they reached by the 2nd of Muharram, 61 Hijri. Once the Imam arrived in Karbala, Ibn Ziyad sent a large regiment of soldiers led by Umar ibn Sa'd to confront the Imam. A few days of deliberation and exchange took place, until on the 7th of Muharram, the army of Umar ibn Sa'd blocked access to the river for drinking water to the Imam's camp.
So before he ended up getting to the city of Kufa, they blocked Imam Hussain alayhi salam and his camp of 72 people and surrounded them, did not let them go back, did not let them go forward, cut off all their drinking water, their food, their resources, and kept them basically standstill in the middle of the desert until they bid allegiance or gave allegiance to Yazid ibn Muawiyah, this tyrannical leader of the time. And they obviously refused.
On the 10th of Muharram, the Imam was repeatedly asked to give allegiance and to put his hand into the hand of Ibn Ziyad and ultimately Yazid, the Caliph. The Imam repeatedly refused to accept such an option. He chose martyrdom and death over the humiliation of having to give allegiance to this oppressive tyrant. An all-out battle ensued, resulting in the martyrdom of Imam Hussain, along with his family and his companions, in the most brutal of manners. The womenfolk and children were later taken to Damascus in the presence of Yazid, who rejoiced over his actions and showed no regret over his decisions.
So that is the story of Karbala. That is the story of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Imam Hussain is the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. One of the most important figures in the Prophet Muhammad's lifetime, and he is a part of the Ahl al-Bayt. The Ahl al-Bayt are two of the weighty things that the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, left us. He didn't just leave us the Quran. He left us the Ahl al-Bayt. He left us his family, his bloodline. He left us this preservation. Through the Ahl al-Bayt, through his bloodline, we will receive the Mahdi. We will receive the savior of the world, the one who will defeat the Antichrist, the one who will come with Nabi Isa alayhi salam, who will establish the final laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on earth, who will defeat deception. You guys know what deception is? The Ahl al-Bayt defeats deception. They are the preservation of truth. They will birth the Messiah of the world, the one who will come at the end of times, the Mahdi. Not the Messiah, the Mahdi. And this is crazy to think about, that a lot of people truly don't understand the importance of Ahl al-Bayt. They don't understand the importance of Imam Hussain, Imam Hassan, Sayyidina Fatima, Imam Ali alayhi salam. The Imams, they really just don't understand how important they are, because they don't understand the history, they don't understand the hadith, they don't understand these things in general from Sunni and Shia Islam. I'm sorry, this has nothing to do with your sect. This has to do with just basic history knowledge. And once you really understand Islam and the history and the hadith and what happened and what your prophet's character was and what your prophet did and who your prophet loved and how your prophet walked and because my favorite thing to hear is, I am Sunni Muslim. I am the real Muslim. I am the true Muslim. I follow the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad. If you follow the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad, you would follow his exact steps. You would love what he loves. You would do what he does. You would eat what he eats. You would walk how he walks. And this is very, very interesting to note, because the most important thing to the Prophet Muhammad, everything he did, everything he sacrificed, wasn't just for the religion of Islam. It was for his Ahl al-Bayt. It was for the people of his household, his daughter, his grandchildren. Imam Ali alayhi salam, these are the people that he sacrificed for. These are the people he loved more than everything. He'd go to war with them if you went to war with them. Right? He cursed you if you cursed them. If you loved them, you loved the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. These are his exact words. These are his exact statements. So it's very, very, very important to understand these things. It's very important to go ahead and indulge in these things. That the Prophet didn't just leave us the Quran. He didn't leave us companions. He left us his Ahlul Bayt, his family members. And these family members are the preservation of Islam. These family members are the greatest example of how the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, walked, talked, moved, and gave us the religion of Islam. They are the preservation, they are the truth, and they are the best way to go ahead and mine out and understand the Prophet Muhammad's sunnah, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him's teachings and way of life. And there's no other better example than the Ahl al-Bayt, to be completely honest with you. No one would sacrifice and did what they did for the religion of Islam like the Ahl al-Bayt. We're talking about Imam Hussain, the grandson of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Look what he did, look what he went through for the religion of Islam. No matter what odds were against him, no matter what happened to him, he ended up dying in the middle of a desert, surrounded by a tyrannical government, stopped from food, stopped from water. His sisters, the women and children, were besieged and arrested. All of the men were brutally slaughtered. Him, 2 of his sons, brutally slaughtered. 3 of Imam Hassan's sons, his brother, 3 of his brother's sons, 3 of his nephews, brutally slaughtered. 6 of their paternal brothers, more of the grandchildren of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, brutally slaughtered. This is crazy. To go ahead and think about 72 of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him's companions, close relatives, his Ahl al-Bayt, were slaughtered, were killed. His family bloodline was almost extinctified over the first 30, 40 years after his death. This is so sad to see. And it's something that as Sunni, as Shia, as all Muslims in general, we need to go ahead and pay more attention to. We need to go ahead and understand more about. Not just Abu Bakr, Umar. We need to do Hassan, Hussein, Ali as well. Because we have to understand who these people are, right? What is their importance? What did they mean to the Prophet? What did they mean to the religion of Islam? What did they do for the religion of Islam? What are they historically? What are they morally? What are they? You get what I'm saying? And once you really understand, you truly understand who each individual person is, from Abu Bakr to Imam Ali, alayhi salam, to Fatima Zahra, to all of these individual people, right? You will truly understand and have a way better grasp on what happened, right? Because it's cool to hear this fairy tale or this story like Abu Bakr was great. He did this. He did this. Abu Bakr did other things too, and those other things that he did play into his story, and it changes a lot of things. You know, Imam Ali. You know, you heard this story. You heard this story, but you need to understand who Imam Ali alayhi salam is. Even if you're Shia, even if you're Sunni, if you're Shia and you love Imam Ali, you need to know who Imam Ali is. You don't just go, oh, I love Imam Ali. I love him. He's the cousin of the Prophet. He died for Islam. Like, no. You need to truly know who is this guy. How did he walk? How did he talk? What was his character? What were his deals? Why didn't he take caliphship over? What was his relationship with Abu Bakr? What was his relationship with Umar? What was his relationship with Muawiyah? What was his relationship with his children? What was his relationship with the Prophet and his wife? You got to understand these things to understand who is Imam Ali alayhi salam. Who is Imam Hussain? Who is the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him? Who are these people? What do they represent? So you truly can know them. Once you truly know them, you truly can follow the sunnah of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Thank you guys so much for coming in today. Inshallah, every single one of you learned something. It is Muharram. The 10th day of Muharram marks the day of Ashura, the battle of Karbala, the day that this tragedy had happened, the day that Imam Hussain alayhi salam, 72 other of his companions and family members risked and sacrificed their life for the preservation of truth and the religion of Islam. And thank you guys so much for coming in today. Thank you so much for learning this. And until next time, God bless every single one of you, and free Palestine.